Coming up on this episode of The Extra Mile.
The future of transportation in Mississippi is bright, and I just appreciate the leadership of MDOT helping us go down that road, no pun intended.
Hey everyone, I'm Marshall Ramsey. I spent a lot of time driving along Mississippi's highways, and I know firsthand the importance of safe driving. So put down your phone, ditch the distractions, and pay attention to the roads. It's that simple. Drive smart for roadside workers, for your family, and for yourself.
That's nearly $2 billion, and that's money that's going to be spent on improving safety, enhancing mobility, and improving economic growth and development in the state of Mississippi.
Yeah, and with this historic funding from the legislature, new construction will be popping up all over Mississippi.
MDOT presents the Extra Mile Podcast.
Men and women of the Department of Transportation are up to the task and up to make sure that we deliver a product that the taxpayers can be proud of. So I'm ready for us to go to work.
Welcome in to another edition of the Extra Mile Podcast presented by the Mississippi Department of Transportation. I'm MDOT Deputy Director of Public Affairs, Paul Catul, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Will Kraft. He is the Director of Public Affairs at MDOT, and we're back. If you check behind us, if you're watching the show, we are back at the Neshoba County Fair for the second year in the row. And for the second year in the row, we also have two guests. We have State Representative Scott Bounds joining the show, and then, of course, we've got State Senator Jenifer Branning, some hometown folks with us today. Right. First up on the show is Representative Bounds. He represents Leake and Neshoba counties. That's District 44, elected in 2004. And most relevant today, he's the President and Program Director of the Neshoba County Fair Association. Representative Bounds, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for making a day happen.
Man, Paul, good to have y'all here, Will. Glad to be here again.
That's right.
You know, Monday of the Neshoba County Fair. A little bit low-key today. Had a busy weekend, but we got a busy finish to the rest of the week.
Well, I love how you say it's low-key, and I mean, there are hundreds of people, I would say, spread out behind us back here, at least 100, doing all their different things. We got kids running around playing games. If you hear some of that traffic on our mics, that's what's going on around here. But like you said, it is so big weekend. Had a big weekend.
Yeah, we had a very good weekend. Had rain on, of course, had rain on Saturday, and but that didn't seem to dampen the spirits of the opening weekend of the fair. I say two things about the fair to people all the time. Number one, I always expect the unexpected down here. Sure. And then number two, it is what it is. If it rains, it rains. If it's dusty, it's dusty. If it's hot, it's hot.
That's right.
We still going to have a good time. We got horse racing going on. Big crowd at the horse races this afternoon. Second day of the horse races going on right now. But yeah, we had a good weekend, Paul. Had a good weekend, Will.
Awesome.
And looking finished strong. We're very pleased with our attendance numbers so far.
Awesome. Good deal. Well, then you just talked about the week, and kick us on into the week. What's so today is kind of low-key right now, like you said, but there's things going on.
Yeah, there's things going on, horse racing, and then, of course, we have the Miss Neshoba County Fair pageant tonight.
Nice.
And my wife actually is that pageant director.
Oh, wow.
And she's been doing that about 5 years, and she enjoys doing that, and that's a big thing here.
Absolutely.
For somebody to be selected Miss Neshoba County Fair and all the community events to go around and represent the fair and different things like that. Of course, tomorrow morning we'll start our political speaking.
That's
now
right.
On Tuesday morning, in an election year like this year, we have our local candidates that will be speaking. These candidates that are running for circuit clerk and chancery clerk and things like that, okay? But then we move into the statewide and district races on Wednesday and Thursday. And of course, the race that everybody's really paying a lot of attention to right now is between the Lieutenant Governor Delbert Hoseman and State Senator Chris McDaniel. They both speak on Wednesday morning, so we're anticipating big crowds for that. Of course, then the governor will speak on Thursday. Gubernatorial candidates will speak on Thursday, as will Philip Gunn will deliver his last address as the House Speaker from the pavilion on Thursday also. So two big days coming up, really Wednesday and Thursday. Then we'll close out on Friday with the championship horse races and our nightly entertainment on Friday night. So we're rocking along. We always say if we can make it through the weekend, we got it by the tail in a downhill drag.
Good deal.
Any of those nighttime entertainments that you're looking the most forward to?
I'm probably looking more forward to, let me just give you a quick rundown who we got. Tomorrow night we have Jackson Dean, who is a really up-and-comer right now. Jamison Rogers on Wednesday night, Nico Moon on Thursday night, and Russell Dickerson on Friday night. I'm probably looking forward to Jamison Rogers. He's a Batesville boy. He's from Batesville. I understand he played baseball at Northwest and went to Southern, and he's really hot right now as far as being an artist and up and coming. So looking for a real good show out of him. We feel like we'll have a very good turnout for him on Wednesday night.
I think so.
And hoping to, here again, that the weather holds, at least the rain. We can always put up with the dust better than we can the rain. But here it is. It is what it is, and we'll deal with it.
Sounds good to us. We love some good music in MDOT Public Affairs, no doubt. So you mentioned it, big political year, lots of speeches. So you're going to be speaking yourself, correct?
I am.
What you kind of got? If you maybe give us a little preview. You don't have to say everything you're gonna be giving out, but any kind of preview for us.
Well, I know that everybody that's going. I speak on Thursday morning at 8:40, I think. I'm the sacrificial lamb. I told them I'd go first. I told my committee I'd go first, and I know that everybody that's going to be here Tuesday that are statewide, and on Thursday they're going to talk about accomplishments that they've had in the last 4 years. They're going to talk about this previous session, the just completed 2023 session. I'm going to focus more on my 20 years of what I've done locally here, what I've been able to accomplish locally. I'm very blessed that the people have granted me the opportunity to serve 5 terms in the Mississippi legislature. And but I want them to know that what I've done. I don't want them to forget the successes that we've had in 20 years. So I'm going to focus more on what we've been able to accomplish locally in my speech on Thursday. I've got some ideas in my head. It's just when I sat down last week one afternoon at my desk, and I was going to start just putting some things down, and I thought back through the 20 years of the things that we have been able to accomplish. And especially under the leadership of Speaker Gunn in the last 12 years, but just things that I've been very blessed to be a part of here locally, here in Philadelphia, Neshoba County, portion of Lee County that I represent, and so I'm going to focus on that. That's what my talk is going to be about, because I know everybody else is going to talk about everything else. So, I want my people, I want my constituents to know that I still want to work for them. I still have guys, I still have as much passion today for that job as I did the first day that I walked in the chamber.
I believe that.
And I want to continue to work, and I'm going to ask the people of House District 44 to send me back again.
If the passion is in any way indicative, a passion you have here for Neshoba and the fair and the county and all the people around here is in any way indicative of your legislative service, I think that it resonates very well there.
Well, I appreciate that. The fair is a labor of love more than anything. This is a non-paid position, and I will tell you that it's a very time-consuming position. It's a very time-consuming position. There's a lot of work that goes into putting the fair together. And we don't want a pat on the back. We don't want an attaboy. We're just going to continue to work hard and put it on. I didn't think we were going to have a fair this year if you'd asked me mid-June with the amount of rain that we'd had down here.
It has been a lot of rain.
And but no, we have a great grounds team, a great staff that's stepped up and got the grounds back into shape. We got in if I can go here just a minute, we got in a 6-day period down here between June the 14th and June the 20th. Just under 18 inches of rain here on the grounds.
Wow.
We had 2 events where cabins flooded on the northwest side of the southwest side of the racetrack over there. My cabin being one, it flooded on Thursday morning, June the 15th. I came out on Saturday, June the 17th, and muddied it out, and it flooded again on June the 18th.
Oh, my gosh.
8-inch rain, 6-inch rains both times in a short period. But anyway, we're past all that, and Somebody stopped me this morning and said, "Y'all ordered up good weather." I said, "Yeah, but we paid for it in June, so just now getting delivered."
That's exactly right.
There you go.
Just now getting delivered, but no, I love the fair and what I'm able to do in my public service arena also. I'm very blessed and very fortunate that the people allow me to do that.
That's awesome. All right, so we want to kind of look back at the 2023 legislative session. I know there was a lot of accomplishments, kind of any that stick out in your mind, and then if you kind of want to look ahead to next session. I know we've got a little bit of time, but I'm sure it's on your mind. What's on your mind with all of that?
Well, I will tell you what we did for MDOT back in the 2023 session. We gave y'all the funding that we gave y'all, but gave you the flexibility to choose projects across the state that have been on the drawing board for a long time. I know there are some high-capacity projects. There are some projects that needed to be done for safety reasons, things like that. But giving the executive division the ability to be able to choose those projects and spend that money to the best way that they can, instead of us pork barreling projects or picking projects that can wait. Okay. Now, I say all that to say, Brad White and his team, the executive team, you guys, excuse me, y'all need the flexibility to be able to do that. And giving you the flexibility in that appropriation, I think, was a big thing. Talking about things going into the future. Obviously, things that are really, I think, that are important to me. I'm a Republican, so I think our taxpayers need more money back in their pockets. So I'm for the income tax elimination. It's proven in states that have done that their growth is unprecedented. And even when we phased out the 3% bracket, I think in 2016, when we started that phase out, that's when we began to have unprecedented growth, and we're still experiencing it right now. Whether you attribute the extra tax dollars to goods, cost of goods and services being higher or what, if you look at the volume of things that are being done, it works. If people are putting more money into their pocket, they're going to spend that money.
And that collection's even right now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we ended fiscal year 23 on June 30th, some $700 million above our revenue estimate.
That's crazy.
And every month, I think we had maybe May didn't meet the revenue estimate, but beyond that, 11 months out of the year was over and above our revenue estimate.
Wow.
And even though we had conservative estimates, we still had money. We still had money in the Treasury to pay the bills and to do the state's business, but we're not going to spend more than we ever take in. And so we've been blessed. But I want us to continue to work with MDOT. I want us to, one thing that's real important to me is broadband. Me being chairman of the House Public Utilities Committee, we're fixing to have a lot of money come down through some of the federal dollars, and Sally Doty and her team at the Beam office are diligently working to compile applications and to develop the process for that. It's time with this pot of money for us to move broadband out to the unserved areas of the state. So I will continue to work on that also. I'm looking forward and hope I have the opportunity to go back, and looking forward to it. Like I said earlier, what I do in my public service area, I still have as much passion for it today as I did the day I walked in that chamber.
That's awesome.
I absolutely believe it. Taking things a little more fun, less important maybe, if you will. Summer fun, summer travel is kind of a big piece for us that we talk about, getting out on the Mississippi highways and checking out the state. What about back in the district or back at home? You got some fun stuff going on, I'm sure, right? Other than, what you're getting wrapped up with right now.
Well, I don't know if anybody's familiar with it or knows about it, but probably the biggest thing we've got going on in Philadelphia right now is obviously the Marty Stewart Congress of Country Music.
Oh, yes.
Love it.
And the legislature has saw the worth of that project and has appropriated money where we have renovated a old downtown theater. It's a very quaint setting, about 500 seats.
Oh, wow.
But it's got state-of-the-art sound in it. And through Marty's connections in Nashville, Marty being a Philadelphia boy, through his connections in Nashville, they are putting together, he and the Congress team, putting together an outstanding lineup of people for fundraisers for the Congress.
Okay.
It's a 3-phase project. We've got the theater done, which will be a community asset, but we want to do the education component of it, and then we want to see the museum done. Marty has the most extensive collection of country music memorabilia in the world.
I believe it.
That's
and
awesome.
It's housed here in Philadelphia in a warehouse right now. But we want to get it out there. We want people to see it, and we know that when we're able to build that, it's like the Field of Dreams. People will come.
Oh yeah.
People will come, and so we're working real hard on that. The state has been through the last 10 years. The state's been very good to us to allow us to, get a little money here, a little money there to get the project started. But once we are able to get that thing to fruition, I think people are going to be real pleased with the finished product.
Good stuff. So just a couple more things real quick. We'll make them fun. So when you're getting outside the district of Mississippi during summer travel, where do you like to go?
Where's the hot spot? Now, if it's too good, you don't want to give it away.
Sure.
We always, everybody goes to Orange Beach. I like the beach. I'm not a mountain guy.
Okay.
I'm not a mountain guy, and I'm not I'm a beach guy.
That's fair.
And weekends on the summer, we spend a lot of time on the Tom Bigby River over in Alabama, and I don't get to the beaches as much as I would like to. I mean, once the summer gets here, so consumed with the fair out here and everything. But I'm not a mountain guy. So a beach, anywhere where there's
Any
beach,
sand.
yeah.
I can understand, absolutely.
Shout out to the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
That's right.
There we go.
Your life is a beach.
It is.
And look, maybe the toughest question for you, but kind of the last one to wrap things up here. We normally talk about food, and we still love food. Nobody has any concerns. We've not diminished our love of eating around here. But could you pick maybe a favorite concert that you have been here at the fair in the however many years it's been? If you had to pick one, you don't have to pick one.
Okay. So I've been on the board 28 years, and
lots of concerts.
So lots of concerts. At least 4 or 5 a year for 28 years. So I'm well over 100 concerts that I've seen, and have seen a lot of guys that we thought would be superstars that didn't pan out to nothing. We've seen guys that we didn't think would pan out to be anything that are superstars.
Now, that would probably be a cool list.
Yeah, it would. I could really start there. But I will tell you, probably the one, and I'm an old rock and roll guy. Okay? I'm an old rock and roll guy. In 2000, we had 38 Special here.
Oh, yes.
Whoa, okay.
We had 38 Special here, and we contract for like an hour and 20-minute show, something like that. The Van Zant boys, they played almost 2 hours and didn't want to quit when they had to quit. And it rained that night, but everybody just got into it. They played all of their hits, and you're going, ooh, 38 Special. I can't believe you like 38 Special. It was the bomb.
Oh, I bet.
It was the bomb.
I mean, that's an experience that you'll never forget.
Oh yeah, but I've seen good ones. We've been very fortunate. Just quick stories, We usually start trying to look at entertainment in September or October for the next fair.
Sure.
Okay, and we'll book somebody that we'll get them at a reasonable price and say we're taking a chance on them, and by the time the fair gets here, they've blown up and just out of sight. And but that happens a lot. It happens a lot down here, and the Luke Bryans, the Jason Aldings, the Jake Owens, those people that we got on the way up, that have been here to the Neshoba County Fair. It's really been, for 28 years, it's been interesting to be a part of it.
I'm sure it's just as memorable for them as it probably is for us.
They always get off the bus, they pull in down there, and they get off the bus, and they say, I've never seen anything like this in my life.
I always see a post about the chair race. Folks racing out there to get seats. I always see one of those. Love it. They love it, though.
Yeah, they do. And let me say, that's not a sanctioned fair event. So
Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Full disclosure right here.
It's not a sanctioned fair event.
Well, this is awesome. Everyone certainly appreciates your hard work on the Neshoba County Fair. Representative Bounds, thank you so much for joining us and stopping by, making this happen.
Hey, man, Paul, thank you. Will, thank you. Let's do it again next year.
That's right.
We'll put it on the calendar. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you all.
Appreciate you, man.
Hurricane season is here, and MDOT wants to help you get out of harm's way. Visit gomdot.com/hurricanes to download free resources. Find your nearest hurricane evacuation route by downloading MDOT's Hurricane Evacuation Guide, which maps out more than 20 different hurricane evacuation routes. Need help packing your go bag? MDOT's Hurricane Emergency Checklist offers a full list of items to include. Don't wait for a storm to threaten. Prepare today.
All right, welcome back to the show. We just heard from State Representative Scott Bounds, and the second part of the show is up next. we of course have State Senator Jenifer Branning, a repeat guest on the show, repeat guest. She assumed office in 2016, represents District 18, which is Leake, Winston, and of course Neshoba counties. And she is the chair of the Senate Highways and Transportation Committee. Very relevant to MDOT. Thank you for joining us again. Last time I think I was almost hit by a frisbee when we interviewed you. I don't know if you remember that.
That was it.
Drew's going to edit that into the show this time, of course. Just
Good.
kidding.
It would not be the fair if there weren't things flying around.
This is true.
Love it. Well, anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. I know it's a busy time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for the invitation. I've been looking forward to it.
And we are we're just as busy as I think I mentioned on our last little segment there. Just as busy this time around. You got kids running around everywhere out here.
Oh yeah, it's been a big weekend for sure. I was here with my family and my new great niece, who is just about 4 months old. It's her
Congrats.
first fair, and so we were able to spend a lot of time. Her name is Everly, and so she's a fair baby. So we've had a lot of fun with her. Yeah.
Everly, the fair baby. Everly, congrats. You're going to go down in podcast history.
There you go.
We'll
Shout out to
remember you
Everly.
That's right.
Well, sorry. Yeah, I was going to say, so you folks family all here still today, even hanging out?
We had a group that left this morning going back to the Arkansas area, but we still have a good group there at Cabin 106. And on my way in, I just waved. I said, guys, I'll be back later to see you and visit with you. I have something I have to do. So they're waiting on me to come back.
Oh, nice.
Everly is waiting on Aunt Jen to come hold her. So
We will do our best not to hold you too
Yeah.
long. What's so this, like you just mentioned, this weekend's already started. What you got coming up the rest of this week that you're looking forward to?
well, obviously the political speaking will be Wednesday and Thursday. Looking forward to that. Great lineup on both days. So I will be here from the beginning to the end, both on Wednesday and Thursday. Looking forward to it.
It'll be jam-packed days for
Yes.
sure. What about any of the entertainment? You got a show that you're looking forward to?
Well, you know, we have a great lineup this year, and I hear that they're all just going to be fantastic. But I'll be honest with you, probably my favorite by way of entertainment is always the pageant.
Okay.
I love, just watching the pageant, and I think the reason that I gravitate toward that is I was in the pageant few years ago. We won't talk about how many. Made the top 10. I did not win, but it was such a great experience for young ladies. It was such a confidence builder, and I learned so much through that program. And actually, Representative Bounds' wife, Jenifer Bounds, does a great job directing that program. So we'll see. A lot of lovely ladies there tonight. So I'm looking forward to being able to catch a little bit of that.
The Bounds family are glutton for punishment when it comes to work and in the heat times.
Yes.
They're doing a little bit of everything around here.
They're very, very active in the community. We're blessed to have them.
That's right.
Putting in that work. So listen, it seems kind of like yesterday, but the 2023 session wrapped up. Y'all put in a ton of work.
We did.
Can you highlight some of this stuff for us? Maybe some MDOT stuff. I know you did a lot for us, but also some other accomplishments.
Sure. This past legislative session, we put an unprecedented amount of money, state dollars, into the MDOT budget for capacity projects. We were just thrilled that we were able to do that. My colleagues, I worked very hard to convince them that we needed to do it and do it in a certain way. We worked with Director White, who was just fabulous at coming over and explaining to us not only what the needs are, but how we need to get from A to B. What is the most fiscally responsible way that we do that? And we did that through way of the 3-year plan, making sure that when we were putting the funding forward, it went toward the plan. And I don't know that I've ever seen the legislature work so well with MDOT in pushing our state forward as far as all the infrastructure needs that we have. And so I'm just thrilled at the additional state dollars that we're able to plug in. And look, we're seeing the results of that. And I realize it will be a little while before we see some of the capacity work go forward. But I know just in Neshoba County, we have the 4-lane of Highway 19 that had already started, phase 1. We were able to bring home the money for phase 2. And so that project will keep on going, and we are so excited. We're one of the few areas in this part of the state without 4-lane access. So that is huge for many reasons. So I think we had a great session.
That's awesome. And we're really going to be seeing orange cones all around the state, right? We kind of touched all the areas.
Absolutely, and we're already seeing that on some of the repaving projects locally. I know that we Highway 21 was done a couple of years ago that leads you right here to the Neshoba County Fairgrounds, but then there's a couple of projects going forward in the district in the upcoming months. Highway 16 is one, Highway 15, so not only in my area but all over the state, and that's from, as you know, the lottery proceeds that's put forward to help us with the repavement. So listen, the future of transportation in Mississippi is bright, and I just appreciate the leadership of MDOT helping us go down that road, no pun intended.
Back from the live honking that you guys all got to hear, that was the ice truck coming around. We thought we'd give it a break and come back in so we can get some clear sound going. But Senator, thank you so much for talking about this past year's legislation. What about a sneak peek, a teaser for next year? Anything on the agenda already? I know it's a little ahead, but
Well, I'm looking at ways, and I believe that I had stated this last year. I've been looking at ways for a good while now to find an additional revenue stream for continued capacity projects or maintenance and just road needs in general. I mean, we've had a good couple of years of surplus, but I realize that may not always be the case. So I'm looking for long-term solutions for our infrastructure, for not only capacity, but continue to maintain what we have. So I know that's a lot, but it requires a lot of research and talk and meeting with my colleagues and different things. So yes, that is an ongoing project that I'm looking at.
All right, so we've been on the road this summer, talking summer travel. So tell us why people would want to go to your district and come and check it out. What kind of summer fun's happening in your area?
Oh, we have a lot of things going on. Obviously, the Neshoba County Fair, when you can look around and see how many people visit us on an annual basis. It's just unbelievable, the numbers, and I assume that you probably went into that with Representative Bounds, but it's mind-blowing the number of people that come here over time. But then we have Geyser Falls that's part of the Pearl River Resort, which is a water park. A lot of people come over from the Jackson area and all over to bring their kids over to the water park. We have the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, which is just world class. And I know that my boys try to spend time there as often as they can. They love to play golf, and it's just a beautiful place, a beautiful course. And then we have the Marty Stewart Museum that's in the works, but the first phase of that is the Ellis Theater. Okay, and we're beginning to have live performances there, and it is just state of the art. People are traveling from all over to see that. And of course, shopping and restaurants. The historic Williams Brothers store. You can go in and have fresh bacon sliced off and buy hook cheese, and also buy shoes and shirts and groceries and all kind of things. And so if you've never been there, Paul, you need to make sure that while you're in Neshoba County, go there and see it.
I think we specifically talked about going to get some hoop cheese.
You need to do that.
I like cheese.
Yes.
Come to Neshoba County. Lots going on.
A lot going on here.
And Representative Bounds mentioned the Marty Stewart Museum as well. I know that you guys are super looking forward to that. That is going to be a great project. Geyser Falls, though, I did kind of forget about Geyser Falls.
Yeah, me too.
That place is a lot of fun.
It is tremendous.
I'm sure it's still going wide open. Yeah, it was a lot of fun when I was younger. I have not been in a while, though. So
Well, it's time. It's time. We can hook you up with some tickets.
Let's go.
Well,
Let's do
it's
it.
not hot outside, so.
Right?
Right.
And continuing kind of on that summer travel beat. So, Senator, anytime you kind of get outside the district, do you have a favorite spot you guys like to go to? It could be in Mississippi, it could be outside of Mississippi. You have a kind of a getaway?
Well, we travel as often as my schedule will allow us to, but this year, when we got out of session, we took a trip that was sort of a once-in-a-lifetime trip for 2 or 3 different reasons. Number one, we had a child that graduated from high school, and we had a child that graduated from college.
Double congrats.
And tomorrow, my husband and I celebrate 25 years of marriage.
All right.
And so we took an Alaskan cruise in May, and I'm telling you, we absolutely had the best time ever. It was just wonderful. It was freezing cold when we got there because it was, but I'm telling you, it was just, words don't describe it. It was wonderful. Had a great time with my family. But, on a normal year, I'll call it a normal year, look, we like to travel to the Mississippi coast. Our state has so many wonderful things to offer from the north to the south. And so we try our best anytime we can to make sure that when we are spending time outside of the district with family, we do it within the state as often as possible. And we like seafood.
That's right.
Mary Mahoney's in Biloxi is just one of my go-tos.
It's hard to beat.
Yeah.
It is really good.
I've been there many times. Yeah, it's hard to beat.
No doubt. So we got, great food, good music, everything's going on. Will, if you want to close us out with that music element.
I will be glad to. So this one might be a little tough. We got a great answer from Representative Bounds. But do you have a favorite concert maybe that you've been to here at the fair?
When I was a little girl, my mom used to bring me down to the pavilion, which is over to my left as we're doing the interview. And I don't know what night it was of the fair that particular year, but there was a band playing by the name of Class Reunion. Okay. And I just love the sound of that band. Of course, I like music. And my family, my husband, my children, they're all musicians, and so I pay attention to that. But Class Reunion was playing. Well, the bass player in Class Reunion is now an attorney friend of mine by the name of Mark Speed from Meridian. And the bass that he used to play and travel with, and by the way, I believe the band still play together some. They've been together a long time. They're just great. But we were able to purchase that bass and some other music equipment from Mark as he was trying to downscale his studio. And so now my children have the bass, and that's what they used to play.
Oh, that's cool.
In their studio at home as they're learning. So I think probably the most meaningful answer that I can give you is the Class Reunion Band from several years ago.
Live equipment from that,
We do.
That's great.
We do indeed.
That's
a lot of
pretty cool.
memories here. Yeah.
That is cool. Class Reunion and 38 Special. Got to check both of those bands out for real.
We're going to have to start asking, like, maybe what's your best piece of memorabilia that you have from something, because that's going to be hard to top. I feel like an actual gig used, she got it live from, the stage used equipment. That's pretty neat.
That's right. And about 20 years after the fact, too. Yeah.
It's impressive.
Love it. That's a great story right there for sure. Senator Branning, thank you so much for joining us, making time for us again. We want to thank you for everything you do for the state, everything you do for transportation.
Thank you for having me. I have thoroughly enjoyed it.
Awesome. So we'll go ahead and wrap things there. Thank you to our listeners, our viewers, for tuning in to the Extra Mile podcast. You can watch and listen to episodes by visiting gomdot.com/the extra mile. Be sure to follow us on social media. @Mississippi DOT is the handle there. Thank you to Drew Hall, our editor, our producer, for making the trek and making everything go behind the scenes. And remember to drive smart out there on Mississippi highways.